Alright guys, so we got a bit of a head scratcher here. We're working on a 2000 Ford Focus of my friend's, and it won't start. It tries to crank, but it won't start. So let's show what it's doing. What it sounds like. What a horrible, awful sound, right? So, any guesses as to what you think that might be? Because the answer might actually surprise you. So, as you can see, we've been screwing with the timing. We checked timing, read time to the timing belt. We thought it skipped a tooth. But before we did all that, we were checking fuel, because you can kind of hear it. It's trying to start. Checked fuel to the rails. Looked at the live data. This thing has a fuel pressure sensor. We're getting 50 psi. Fuel sprays out of there when you take it off. Injectors click. We even went as far as changing the coil because it kind of sounded like it had weak spark. Whenever I pulled one of these, put a plug and tested it, that didn't fix it. Check for spark. Obviously, we're getting spark. Check for blockages in here. Made sure this guy was working. Your mass airflow sensor. So what do you think? What do you think it is? The engine seized? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it wants to crank over. Is there some kind of seizing going on? Put a socket on the crank pulley and it's really, really difficult to turn. No. The answer is even simpler than that. Customer, being my friend, complains, at first complained, hey, you know, my car's making like a squeaking noise. And that kind of led me to the timing belt because, you know, of the weird way it sounds like it's trying to start but it's out of time. Okay, what if that squeaking was one of these pulleys or the tensioner, and then the tensioner seized, and that's why it jumped teeth. Well, it never jumped teeth. Let's go see what the actual issue is. I'm not going to demonstrate. You'll just have to believe me because I'm really cramped under here. But you put a socket on that crank pulley, and she's really hard to turn. But what's the issue? Let's get a 15mm wrench, and to help us out a little bit, we're going to do the double wrench method. We took our belt off of this AC compressor pulley, which is completely seized up. It will not turn. We'll take it off our crank pulley. So, we're putting a new bearing in the pulley. Little 8mm bolt comes off the compressor. We should be able to wiggle the clutch off. There's this little snap ring we've got to get off in here. Alright, so this, you may not be able to call a bearing anymore, but there's your problem. All the little balls are just rolling around in there. This is just a little, there they go. Yeah, this is not I think we're doing this thing a service by calling it a bearing. Newsflash, it's not supposed to do that. So, let's go pound another one in. Oh. Why don't we just do that? Why didn't we think of that? Okay. Alright, cool. So we bent this, right? So we're going to set it down. I'll do it so that you can record. And I don't know that that's going to work very well. But... Alright, so here's our new bearing. As you can see, it's not perfect. It ain't much, but it's honest work, if you can call it that. But yeah, you know, it's mostly straight. Done this on a couple hoopties in my day, so about 2 weeks ago. There we go. There we go. Just gotta drive it home. It'd be nice if we could drive the car home too. It's ideal. Oh no. There's the world's most favorite truck. We'll do a video on that. So hopped up 454 C10. Alright. So now we'll get our pulley here and slide it back on.